Oh my God.
More boxes, more options. Granger has over 1,700 box types in stock and ready to.
Oh my God. Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me if you can hear me. All right. Good morning. Well, Jesus, I'm something's wrong with my hold on here. My chat on my main screen is frozen, but I can see it over here. I got two screens. I can see my chat over here. I can't see it over here. Yeah, it's telling me that. It's got to reload the page. What is wrong? I don't know. Oh, shit. Jesus. What is wrong with my... There we go. All right, Jesus. My chat wouldn't load. It's still not loading over here. God damn it. Come on. There's a YM short here I didn't take because I'm sitting here dealing with this shit. Come on. Seriously? Fuck. Did anybody see that YM trade? Did anybody see that YM trade? I don't need a new laptop. Trust me. It's not this desktop. This thing runs 6 screens and all that stuff. And it's only about shit. This one here is only about a year old. My other one, my past one, is the one right here that I use for just normal stuff now. God, yeah, that YM trade, man. Beautiful YM trade. Fuck. I'm sitting here dicking with this. What the hell's wrong with this thing? All right, there. All right. Everything's caught up. It kept getting stuck when I'd shrink the screen. I got to shrink it so I can see what's going on with my screens. I did a major boo-boo today. I made a major mistake. I made a major mistake today. Fuck. A major mistake. That I got to fix. I've got to fix it right now. Let me get in here and fix it. Hell, I even got a auto liquidation notification because of this major mistake on an account with $6,000 in it. Oh my God. So who wants to hear? Oh my God, look at my balance. Holy shit. Jesus, criminy Christmas. Holy crap. God dang it. I don't want to distract the group with my major mistake right now when we should be potentially looking for trades. People, quit texting me. Oh my God. Yeah, that's yesterday. That's true, Mike. Me getting up was a mistake. I should have got up in the afternoon and traded because, man, yesterday afternoon I was on fire, and I was designing two houses at the same time. I mean, yesterday I was on fire. I closed out yesterday afternoon, like at 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that, with $1,335, and that's with me being down. Shit, I was down like $700 when I shut the stream off. I closed out up $1,335. Yesterday afternoon, the charts were beautiful, absolutely gorgeous yesterday afternoon after all those Fed people shut up from running their damn pie holes. I'm going to show you my screw up here in a minute. And I mean, it's just I made money off my screw up, but I was down also from the same screw up. I was down about $500-$600 at least, and now I'm up $796 from my screw up, and it's I just didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. I'm going to show it to you guys here in a minute. I'm still sweating. I'm still stressing from this screw up. Look at that YM trade. Look at that YM trade. Look at that YM trade back to the low. Damn, that was a good trade, that YM trade. I completely missed it because this fucking chat wouldn't load. Beautiful YM trade. God dang. That's a big dog trade right there. Just keep following the back of those candles. I mean, you would have got knocked out here if you literally followed the back of the candles, but this is the target right here. I mean, that is a gorgeous YM trade. And you had a hammer candle. Boom, for your entry. God dang. Shit. Absolutely gorgeous trade. Absolutely gorgeous trade. Just a beautiful trade. It may even go to here. You know how it likes to go from target to target. It may even go to here. I didn't even notice this was down here. What a beautiful setup. Jesus, mother. God, I missed that. Dicking around with this screen. Oh, man. Gold is kind of stuck right now. Gold is kind of stuck. It looks like it's trying to meander its way back long again. So gold, that is. I'm not going to pay attention to it till it gets moving again. Fuck. Jesus. All right, so we're sitting here in limbo Who wants to see my screw up this morning? Jesus, mother of God. This is the kind of stuff I've got to. Who wants to see my screw up? Oh my God. It was in the NQ. So I had yesterday afternoon, I traded the NQ manually. So all I did was take my MNQ chart, and just swap it over to the N. See how it's right there? See how the MNQ is right there? I just swapped it to the NQ. Okay. And I turned my strategy off and I manually traded it. And I caught a W pattern, absolutely gorgeous W pattern, back to the target, and made at least $1,000 on the trade. Okay. So, and I'll show you guys that trade later. But what I didn't, so this morning, I go to trade and I turn my strategies on. I have a strategy. It's called the Trade Saber. So I turn the Trade Saber on. What I forgot was that this chart was NQ, not MNQ, and my strategy was MNQ. So when I took this 1 minute gold line here, I wasn't even paying attention. It came back down, knocked me out. And I'm like, okay. And then it ran down, and then I took a re-entry here. Well, it was when I took this re-entry that I looked up I looked up here, and I'm like, why is there so much writing above me? Writing, handwriting. How much? And then all of a sudden I noticed, holy fuck, I'm taking 4 contracts of the NQ. So that's why I was late turning the stream on, because I was in the midst of this with, now I got to go change my underwear, because I was in the midst of this move right here with 4 contracts. Which, of course, I don't trade the NQ with 4 contracts. I didn't go into my strategy template and change it to the NQ, which is 1 contract. My MNQ strategy template for Trade Saber, I have it set at 4. So I didn't even realize until I came and re-entered, and I looked up here. I'm like, why is there so much writing? And all of a sudden I saw the 3 and the 1, and I went, oh shit. And then I looked at my marker here, and my marker there said 4. I went, oh fuck, I just entered with 4 contracts. Oh my God. So there's my P&L right there. $796. Oh, and now my balance is $7,614. I mean, part of that is because of that. But yesterday, and I'll show you guys those trades if you want me to, but I took two big trades. I took one in the NQ, which was a W pattern, and then I took another in gold. That was a W pattern, and I let them go to target, and boom, I ended up making a bucket load of money. I was up $1,300. I closed out yesterday at $1,335 plus. Insane, just insane. And it would, and what it took yesterday apparently is just those Fed people, the paid actors, to just get the hell off the stage and go have lunch or whatever the hell they're going to do, rewrite their script for today's lies. God dang. Beautiful setups yesterday. Well, anyways, I got really lucky. I didn't even notice the NQ, MN. I knew I was in the NQ. Okay, so don't get that wrong. I knew I was trading the NQ. What I forgot was that my trade saber ATM was still set at the MNQ because I didn't trade it with the auto thing yesterday. I traded it manually. Oh my God. Just ridiculous. Oh, fuck. Yeah, kind of. But the problem with the YM is it didn't. Again, I don't like when it does it in space. So, give you an example. Let's go to yesterday's big trade for me in the YM. Let me see if I can find it. Come on. I mean, not the YM. Jesus, I'm brain dead. In the NQ. Right here. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Here it is. This is a W pattern. Right here, my friend. Right here. This. So we had to slam down here. Now, I didn't get involved here because we had consolidated right here before we ran down. Now, this move down is beautiful. But then we rolled up, created, here's leg one, here's leg two, and then we came back down. And I'm telling you, when this candle right here consolidated, bam, was my entry, bam, was my target. Back towards the top of this leg right here. That's a W pattern. And what makes it a W pattern for me is that it did it in an area that I know support exists. And I'm telling you, I hit that thing right there. Bam, bam. And that's where I got all my money back yesterday. I took that with 2 contracts. If I get rid of my, where is it? Hold on here. I got to delete my strategy to show my markers. I don't want to delete my strategy. I got to delete my strategy to show my markers here. I really don't want to delete my strategy because then I got to reload it and all that shit. The markers are gone because I did it manually. If I do it manually, the markers are gone. If I do it with this, then the markers stay. But for example, I'll show you guys this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn this NQ strategy off for just a second. Okay, see how this is gone? Oh, wait. See how this is gone? See how this is gone? And then I'm going to turn it back on. See, my markers are gone. So the only way I can get the markers to come back now is I've got to literally remove the strategy, then apply, and then bam, my markers are back. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Now, what we want here, guys, is we want this to do a crossover retest here. That's what we want on this on the NQ. I hope you guys are fixated on that instead of me talking and being stupid. God dang. So now I got to turn my strategy back on. Let me turn my strategy back on in that system. I'm going to load my template for the NQ. Since I'm up a lot, I'm going to trade the MQ today. Since I'm up a lot this week, I'm just going to trade the NQ. So see, the NQ is set for 1 contract. So I turned my strategy back on over here, but I've got it set for the NQ inside the trade saber. So it'll fire off 1 contract, not 4. Yeah, I'm going to keep it at NQ because I'm up a lot, Christine. I mean, I'm up a lot. So, I mean, I might as well, I didn't think I was in the NQ this morning. Well, I shouldn't say that. I knew I was in the NQ because I was way up after yesterday, but I thought I was firing off 1 contract, not 4. I'm fine with once I'm up a bit. I don't mind turning the NQ on and trying it, and playing with it. RTY's got a problem here. Well, no, it doesn't. It's got a 1 minute goal. We might have a 1 minute goal line right here. Hold on. Let me look at this. Shit. I'm sorry. I'm too busy blabbing. I'm sorry, guys. Man, we might have a goal. I'm going to take a long here. If we can get, I'm going to take an RTY long here. Absolutely. What am I thinking about? Go, baby, go. Holy shit. Yeah, go, 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 go. Now go. Just keep going. Go through the high. Come on. Go through the high. Boy, we're going to see some resistance there. Go through the high. Come on, go. Come on, RTY. Come on. Come on. I think we're going to see resistance here. Where's my 20 area? This will cover me 20 plus a tick. I mean, I really think we're going to see resistance right here because we've been here like 3 times, 4 times. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give me a couple $100. Give me a couple $100 here at least. If we slow down and walk, I'm going to move my target back up. But if we run, I'm going to leave my target right there. All right. Are we going to slow down and walk? If we're going to walk, I'm going to move my target up. Yeah, we're walking. So I'm going to move my target up. We're reloading the energy right here. I'm going to move my target up now. It's all how it gets there. I prefer it walk, where they build up energy and then go for another leg and then build up energy and go for another leg. Now, the problem is I'm stuck north of the 9. Yeah, so the problem is I was stuck north of the 9. That was the problem with the whole situation. I was stuck pretty far north of the 9. But again, that's why I say I'll take a break even. This is probably going to roll up. This is probably going to roll up. But I'll take a break even. I mean, I had a good opportunity. If it had kept walking long, like the sequence of these candles, then I would have made $400 or $500. I didn't realize till after I was in also. I mean, holy cow, look at all that shit over here. Look at all that noise. There was a lot of fighting going on to the left. Now, keep I'm going to keep looking. But, and just so you guys know, my chat on my main screen is not working. So, I mean, I'm having a look over here, so I'm not seeing the chat that well today. Yeah, Jesus, Jim, did you get that gold? Did you get that gold off the red line? I hope you got that gold off the red line. Damn it, why did I not see that? Jim, I hope you're in that. All right, I thought so. I thought so. I'm going to expect a Christmas present from you. Holy shit. He's up $2,120. Hey, Jim, you be proud of me. I got $1,335 yesterday. That's a big day for me. $1,335 yesterday. I was excited. My intent is to be Jim. Go with that gold. Go with that gold. That gold's going all the way to the top. Look at that damn RTY. It still worked. It just came back and reloaded its energy. I mean, it still worked. It still worked. Yeah, Jim, I'm going to send you my my home address for my Christmas present. I'm Irish, so use some creativity on that. Hey, Jim. I'm going to South Bend, Indiana this weekend. I am. I'm leaving. Matter of fact, I got to tell everybody that I'm leaving. I'm going to Notre Dame. I'm not going to trade at all on Friday. I'm going to South Bend to see Notre Dame play NC State in football. My son went to NC State. I obviously went to Notre Dame, so we're going up for the game. I'm sure Jim caught that same short trade I caught too, to the downside in gold earlier. The one I called out before I turned this. Yeah, it'd be a good. Well, we'll Notre Dame will win by at least 2 touchdowns. It's my guess. Jim normally trades, or wait, not David, Dominic. Jim actually trades multiple accounts, multiple live accounts. So like if he takes 2 contracts in gold, he's really taking 4. So does Orville. Orville does the same thing. Now Jim's doing it with live money. Orville's doing it with prop firms, I think. If Orville's in here, he can correct me. But I know Jim's doing it with live money. I don't know if anybody had the nerve to take that ES short off the PriorDay Open. I didn't. I'm a little biased right now for crossovers to the long side in equities. I'm just a little biased that way. It did me well yesterday afternoon, man. Poof. NQ. Wow. Beautiful trade in the NQ yesterday. The one I showed you guys. I actually videotaped a short live yesterday afternoon, kind of talking about it while I was in the middle of the gold trade, actually, because I had just gotten done hammering the NQ trade. Come on, NQ. I want you to roll down. Roll down. Yeah, see, the ES is not, that trade right now is not holding to the short side in the ES. It's still battling its way long. Right here, it's still battling its way long. Doesn't mean it's going to go long, but I would, with the ES, I'd love to see it cross over and sit on top of the open and then a long back to here, because it seems to be melting its way long. God, I keep forgetting you guys can't see the shit I'm looking at. Jesus. So like over here, what I'm looking at for the NQ is I'm hoping we run down to here and then catch a long back at least to the high. That's kind of what I'm hoping for with the NQ. And, just to put it in perspective with the NQ, I mean, this is what, 80, 84. So like if you're in it, let's just say 90 on your long, 25 points would be, there's 10, there's 20, there's 5. So back to the gold line, for example, that's $1,000. That's $1,000 if you get on that rotation. You haven't even gotten back to the high. Oh, you were still in RTY? How did you then? So you made 110, Christine, because you shouldn't have lost money. Yeah, I'm with you there, Dave. I'm shit, man. Yesterday, I was fortunate, even though I was working, I was on a conference call with an engineer. This is a true story. I was on a conference call with an engineer and a factory rep when I entered that gold trade in the W pattern. And I didn't say anything to them, and I was trying to get off the phone. And then I hung up the phone and I turned the live on because while I was still in the trade. But I mean, I was staring at the charts and I'm going, God dang it. Come on, NQ. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Still waiting for that NQ to roll down. It's starting to. It's starting to. Man, yesterday afternoon was so nice. You know, and today's the release of the FOMC minutes. So, I mean, reality, I'm going to be very happy with the money I've already booked. Yeah, I'm going to be very happy with the money I've already booked. 700. What is it? Keep getting 784. Of course, you know, she was by accident. That's for sure. 4 contracts in the NQ. Are you crazy? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That was insane. Look at that RTY. That is just so frustrating. You know, I took that long, obviously right here, ran up with a nice big green candle. And I mentioned, because then that's when all of a sudden I looked over here and I went, oh shit, we're going to have a lot of resistance right there. And man, that's all we've done is sit right there since. Damn it. Are you long off the red line in gold? Because that's the trade I think Jim took too. I completely missed it because I was looking at the RTY. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. Freshen up my coffee. I don't see anything right now. Oh, 1 minute gold line. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I could see that being a potential entry, Dominic. I could. Oh, shit. Sorry, excuse me. God, I'm walk in. I didn't look. Okay, let's get paying it. Let's focus. We want this to roll down a little more. God dang it. Did it just tick it? It did. We don't want that. Keep coming down, NQ. I'm going to blow this. I'm going to, so I can still see it. I'm going to move this up so I can still see it. Give me just a second, everybody. And then I'm going to blow this out and we're going to look at this. Come on. Come on. Yeah. I if I'm on the phone, I don't yell at my trades. If I'm on the phone, I don't yell at my trades. Especially when I'm on the phone with the factory engineer. I mean, I want him to think I'm paying attention. No, you talking about the little gold one right here? You talking about this little gold one, this lightly gold one? If that's the one you're talking about, that is a 5-minute 9 EMA. So on my 1-minute chart, it's a 45 EMA. It's replicating the 9 EMA on a 5-minute chart. I don't trade it. I just use it as a reference. It's hard to explain. It's when I see price running towards it, it has a tendency to get hung up on it. But I don't trade it. So it's not even in my setup stuff. I just use it as a point of reference because I know, for example, like right over here, that's what it crawled down and hit here, and that's where it rotated from. I like to see it on if it's, I like to know if I'm going to run into it or if it's going to help me, support me. But I don't trade off of it. Gold just might be going long here off the red line. I don't know. I wanted this to be more than just touching. If I'm going to do an NQ trade, I want the pattern to be as clear as the nose on my face. I don't want to feel like I'm entering in space. I mean, it did touch that freaking line, which is a real bitch. I mean, it touched it right there to the tick. I mean, for those of you that are NQ traders, to touch to the tick, that's hard to do. that's really hard to do. That's manipulation of the market right there, my friends. That there was a lot of traders front running that, meaning they were entering it at the spot. Yeah, gold is for those of you that have like one screen and you want to trade, this strategy, and you're not looking to just slow walk yourself, because I've told you before, 9 times, if you want to slow walk yourself to a payout with Apex or those guys, then I'd be trading that ES 1-minute gold line rotation thing I talk about. But if you're trying to actually make money, and you only have one screen, right now the market is gold. That's where you make your money. Right now the market is gold. That's where you make your money. I mean, shoot, man, I had a beautiful trade in gold yesterday. I've talked about it many times in my videos. The rotations in gold right now are just so valuable. I mean, the rotations are just so valuable. When I mean valuable, I'm talking about from point of entry to your targets, from the pullbacks and whatnot. You're like the one I took this morning, man. I mean, it's just like, from the point of entry to the known target. The point of entry was right here to the known target, which is right here, because we've had all this resistance to our left. That's the known target, which, if you'll notice, once it hit that known target, it went straight up. So to the known target, that's $400. Now, like in oil right now, which is why I'm not spending my time on it, that same rotation from here to here, I might get $150, because the rotations are just not as big, because the dollar amounts are not as large. So the swings are smaller. Now, gold might have now that it's done this, it might come back here and give us a 1 minute gold line trade. It just might. But gold's rotations are just big and profitable right now. Well, I mean, technically, Joe, I can see it on my chart. It pierced. But I mean, God dang, it pierced through by literally a tick. I mean, it's like, I don't have the nerve. This is the NQ. The MNQ, if I was in the MNQ and this candle consolidated, I'd probably be in that long. But the NQ, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious, because I don't want to be stuck out in space. I don't want to be stuck out in space. It doesn't have, it's a tradable event, Diego. It's truly a tradable event. The problem is it's very hard to teach people when it's a tradable event. And so there's plenty of tradable events that happen every day. So I go back to the whole premise of let's do quality over quantity, because, you only need like 1 or 2 good trades in a day, and you're going to walk away with $300 to $600. I mean, if you want to make more money than $300 to $600, focus again on those quality trades and add more contracts. Just like I did yesterday afternoon in the NQ. I saw the W pattern setting up. I threw that thing back into NQ mode. I removed the strategy, and I manually went with 2 contracts, because this thing's going to go from point to point. I mean, here's the freaking pattern. It was so clear, that W pattern yesterday in NQ, and I took it right back to target, cleaned out, made a bucket load of money, and boom. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality of trades. That's probably true, especially in the direction, especially in on that red line thing with gold, especially in the direction that gold is biased towards in today's world. Because gold, look at where the hell we are today. Yesterday I was complaining. I think it was yesterday or the day before, one of the two. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. I was complaining about where we're north of $4,000 in gold. Okay, so let's put this in perspective. Yesterday, I was complaining that we're over $4,000. We were up at like 4,006 or whatever. Today, we're at 4,066. So let's put this in perspective to give you an idea why I'm focused on gold and not oil. So from 4 to 66 is 62 points. Those are the exact same 62 points that oil is selling at, which is 62. So oil's not going from $62 a barrel today to $122 tomorrow. Okay? So you're not getting those exact type of rotations. That's why gold is just fire to make money on right now. I mean, it is just fire. You just have to be on the right side of the trade and then let it go. I mean, because every day you're rotating more than the value of oil in totality. It's insane. It truly is insane. And the other thing is, when that's happening, like it is now, then there's more traders involved. When there's more liquidity involved in gold, gold is going to move again. More pattern-wise, more smooth-wise, better fills, better targets. It's just rinse, wash, repeat with more players. And that's what you want. You want more players. You want more players so that this guy comes and steals their money. And this guy right here is who we want to pay attention to, because we're going to get on his back while he's stealing the money. Yeah, YM rotated over to the prior day close, prior day open, and just up it went. I mean, YN had a beautiful pattern this morning on the short side. Now it's long off the prior day close. I mean, you could trade. I mean, listen, just learn the patterns and you can make money on any of these instruments. That's the reason I have them up here. Some of them have more of a function, like the ES is a great instrument, in my opinion, with the 1 minute gold line. Wait for the crossovers, wait for the Donchian Channel high, wait for a pullback, and let the 9 push it back to the pivot, and then and just have the patience to wait for that to happen and do it and make your money and get your payout from your prop firm. But wow, what is the ES doing right now? It's rolling over. Is gold going to do it again? Is gold going to do it again? Gold might be doing it again. Yeah, here it might be doing it again. It might be going long again. Christine, let me look here. I'm not really, because see this pivot right here, it broke this leg right here. See how direct this leg is right here? You really wanted the rotation to go from here to here, then down, then up. You didn't want this leg to break this leg. All right. Let's look at the ES right here. All right. We did a crossover retest, and we had an inside candle right here to the long side. You know, I'm looking to go long. We had an inside candle right here. And so pattern wise, we should get a rotation back to here at least. And I'm in. So what I'm going to do is let this walk its way to the rotation. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Oh, God. What are you doing? There you go. Now walk your way to the rotation. Go ahead. I just don't have patience for the ES anymore. This should have run. This should have run. Come on. This should have run. This should not be sitting here like this. Of course, it may create a W pattern now. See, this might create a W pattern. I don't want it to. Come on. Come on. Oh, you dog. Come on. Rotate up. Oh, you're going to create a W pattern? This thing actually might create a damn W pattern. I swear to God. Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. What time is it? 10:30. This thing should have gone. Go. Break this pivot right here. Break this pivot right here to my left. Come on. Jesus. This is what? If it breaks that pivot to the left on the long side, I'm going to move my stop to even and just, it either goes or it doesn't. Why are you retesting? You should have gone. God dang it. It's going to do this W pattern shit. I swear to God. So the question is, do I give it the room to do it or do I just get the hell out? Oh my God. Really? It ticked the top of our support. I think it's going to knock me out. I do. Yep, it did. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it and see if this leg right here doesn't get broken to the downside. See, we tested, rolled up, retested. So this is a W pattern. It's just ugly as hell in the ES. Come on. But we need this to hold. Okay, there we go. We need this to hold north of this and then break the candles because we've had 1, 2. We've had these 2 in a row right here. Hold on here. What's going on up here? All right. The YM is sitting on top of the prior day open. That's a good sign. You talking about in gold there, Bruce? Well, the key thing about the gold thing is the rotation back to the red line was from a higher pivot. That's your giveaway right there. Because remember, the red line is a directional instrument. So it's going to hold price in one direction or another as long as the pivots stay consistent. So right now, see this pivot to here? That's not a good sign. But when this pivot went to here, that is a good sign because it broke this pivot to the long side. Same thing with this one. This broke the pivot to the long side, rotation up, broke the pivot, rotation up. Now this pivot did not break this pivot, did not break this pivot. That's not a good sign. Now you got a bad sign. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean it's not going to hold, but it's not a good sign. Ah, dang. What the hell? Shit. My shoulder hurts. I'm going to have to take a draw out of my account again. Now I'm back up over my limit there. I'm up over $7,500. That's insane. I started off at $5,383 on Monday morning. I wrote it down this time. I wrote it down this time on my board up here. Started at 53.83 and I'm up to 75.09, 53.83. Oh my God, $2,126. Jesus. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But don't be surprised if we go into dormant mode, because you got to remember today is the release of the FOMC minutes. You know, where the paid actors write on a piece of paper their lies. You know, inflation's imaginary. It's not real. If you hear somebody on news talk about inflation, they're a liar. It's fake news. You know, that kind of stuff. Those paid actors. I don't know that you can pay me enough to sit there and tell those kind of lies. I don't know that you can pay me enough to sit there and tell the whole United States of America, don't pay attention to how much money we're printing and throwing out the window, because that has absolutely nothing to do with inflation. We don't have inflation. You're just imagining it. You're just shopping at the wrong places. You need to go back and shop somewhere else. Oh, the other one too. The other one, they call corporate greed. You know, it's easy to just sit there. Oh, it's corporate greed. Okay. See, it's like they're pointing fingers. When common sense tells you, if you're in a pool and you're drowning, if the guy over here is throwing more water in the pool and telling you he's helping, he's a liar, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're just throwing more money into the economy and then telling you there's no inflation. Yeah, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Exactly. Don't pay attention to him. And I'm going to tell you something, okay, to get a little more serious. Okay, to get a little bit more serious. And I mean, I am getting a little bit more serious right now. You know, I've owned some businesses in my life and whatnot, and I'm very fortunate at my age to have a business that works right now at my age, because I don't know that I have the energy nor the creativity to start another business. And I'm certainly not employable because I've been a business owner, and nobody wants to hire a business owner. And I'm just fortunate that I'm in a good business right now. I started this business literally from the ground up 10 years ago with nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean I had nothing. And so I'm fortunate. But at the same time, you know, I know at the end of the day, I'm responsible for myself in life. And this trading stuff was supposed to, or is supposed to, help me as things continue to get worse, so that I can, you know, evolve into something that when I no longer have my business or can't do it and whatnot, I can just at least sit down. I can stare at these charts. By the way, the gold did go up. You know, it did go up and break the pivot, but you know, again, but you know, trading is supposed to, you know, if I could sit here and trade like I've done this week, maybe a little less frantically, but like I've done this week or last week. Last week was a good week, and it wasn't as frantic as this week, meaning I made my money, you know, just ding, 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 ding. This week's been a little bit more hectic. But if I can do what I've done and continue to do that going forward, then I don't really need to worry about, you know, things as much as if I don't figure out what to do when the world goes, when I age out of being able to adapt to the world that we live in. Because, you know, the only thing that's going to happen, and those of you that aren't paying attention, but in the United States of America, the only thing that's going to happen is things are going to get worse. You know, your government is $38 trillion in debt, when the reality of it is it's 100 and some trillion dollars in debt because of unfunded liabilities, which is a long story. And as a CPA, I don't want to sit here and explain it to you, but just mark my words on that. They're over $100 trillion in debt. And the only way they're going to pay for it is to continue to print money. So the economy is going to continue to change and evolve going forward in every 10 to 20 year increments, because the government's going to have to keep devaluing the currency to stay afloat. So when I reach a certain age, I can't continue to adapt to that. But if I can trade, I can survive. I don't know if I'm making any sense. That's good. About the red line. I tell you, gold on the red line is a great instrument. It really is. I have said before, you could take all the lines off the charts other than that red line, and I could make money. I could make a living just trading that red line. The nice part about it with gold is it comes into fruition earlier in the day than the ES or any of these equities, just because, you know, you need time. The market has a tendency to take a little longer to decide if it's going to be a long day or a short day on a clock, because it starts later. But when gold does, you can just sit there and stare at that red line. But like, you know, take the ES here. So you had this rotation here. They went up and then they sat on top of that red line again right here at 10 o'clock. And look what it did. Bam, to there. Now the rotation to most traders was really from the prior day close. I mean, guys, when you start seeing this stuff, to the prior day open. Prior day close to the prior day open. That was it. That's it. I mean, when you start seeing this stuff and you calm down and you wait for things to set themselves up in front of you, you too can sit there. You only have to be right on something like this. Unless you've got more obligations in life, you only have to be correct on something like this once a week. And it's not like this didn't happen yesterday either. 80% of the time, the market is in consolidation. 80% of the time, the market is in consolidation. You got to remember that. And when it's in consolidation, those line to lines, man, that's some good stuff. No, I wouldn't be taking that NQ. Are you insane? Hell no. Why am I not going to take this NQ? I suppose you want me to tell you, right? We obviously went through it right here by a tick or two. It rolled up and then it came and then it went here, which is not higher than here. And then it came back here. So we are starting the stair stepping to the downside. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right. I'm just explaining where you got to pay attention. And then we came down. Now you got to look at it as a reach thing. This is a crossover retest, but after you got to look for a reach. There's a point where it's no longer a crossover retest. It's a reach. Well, there's no reach. We came down, consolidated here, and then we rolled down. I mean, like we meandered our way here. What we would have wanted, ideal world would have been to break that high and then have price, maybe hang out here a little bit, get hung up by the 9 EMA, but all of a sudden reach a point where it just started going directly there, like this sequence of candles. And then boom, the rejection back up to here. Yeah, I get that, Caroline. I get that. Well, I mean, it's like messed up. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I do know this: the debt situation isn't going to fix itself. We've become addicted to debt. We have two political parties in this country. Unfortunately, we should have probably 5 or 6. We have two political parties, and they're in Washington, D.C. right now, arguing as to should we add $2 trillion to the deficit, or should we add $3 trillion? That's literally what they're arguing over. In either case, the answer is not good for the American people. In either case. Doesn't matter what answer you pick. Neither one is good. I think we're going to sit here in dead mode right now, folks, because of what I said. We got the FOMC stuff coming out at 2:00, where they take all their lies for the last 2 days and they consolidate it on a piece of paper and then hand it to everybody. Oh, Bill. Worse than that, I'm a Ross Perot supporter from all the way back to 1992. I've been a registered independent since 1991. I know that our political parties are. We say we have two parties. We don't. We have one. They're both the solution with both of them is exactly the same: bigger government, more spending. and wars. That's all. That's all. It doesn't matter what political party's running. That's the results. You know why somebody like me can't be president? Well, first of all, the political parties are, first of all, you can't run as a Democrat, period, regardless. They've got that whole thing locked up. For a lot of you people may not know this, but Donald Trump was a lifelong Democrat. You know why he became a Republican, in my opinion? Is because he knew there was no way he could be president of the United States as a Democrat. The Democrats have the election rigged on their end for who they're going to run, who's going to run. I'm not talking about the overall result. I'm talking about who's going to run. It's rigged. They have this thing called super delegates, which means they don't want you, the individuals, to vote for your president. We're going to pick the president, and then you're going to vote for them. So to be the presidential candidate. Well, Trump knew he was never going to win as a Democrat because he has the same problem I have. He speaks his mind. You may not agree with his mind, and I'm not saying I agree with his mind either, but I'm just saying that's why he ran as a Republican. Now, the Republicans, on the other hand, they're just pretending that they're going along with him because it's the cancer is across the board. Even Ross Perot, if he had won the presidential election, they would have killed him, or they would have done the same thing they did to Trump, which is continuing to lock him up and not do anything that the American people want. So we're doomed. My red line is my red line is Jesus Christ, I'm brain dead. Is a 105 SMA, and it's not an EMA. The red line is 105 SMA. Why it's 105 is because it's really a react of the 21 SMA off of a 5-minute chart. 5-minute traders trade this unusual thing called the 5-minute red line. And if you watch, like, for example, what's going on in gold, or what has been going on in gold today, let's just show you here. I didn't make that line up. See that? I didn't make that line up. So if they trade it, then that's the one I put on the chart. But I have to simulate it onto a 1-minute chart by converting it to 105 SMA. Perot called it. That sucking sound, exactly. That's where all the jobs went. They never wanted to keep the jobs here. Yeah, one global unity party, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Now, what I wouldn't mind seeing right now, since I got the NQ on here, what I wouldn't mind seeing right now, since we busted through this pivot right here down, I wouldn't mind seeing a rotation back to the prior day open and then along. I wouldn't mind seeing that. See, I've got to find places to trade from. Just because we ran through here, I don't, I have no idea what's going. I have no idea why we rotated from here. I mean, none of it's on my chart. So I've got to find rotations that I can trade off of and have a picture in my mind where my stop should be and where my target should be and all that stuff. Yeah, we are in 1984. Exactly. By the way, we may get this set up right now. Holy cow. I sit here and I say it, and it is trying to happen. It is trying to happen in the NQ. It is trying to happen. Boy, that gold just finally blended itself. Once it got on top of that red line, man, it just slowly melted itself back to the current day high. I know everybody in this room, in this trading room, should be shocked. You all should be shocked that gold crossed over that red line, sat on top of it, and ultimately went to the current high. You should all be shocked. You should all be going, nah, that couldn't happen. That's ridiculous. What I need right now is this NQ, because I'm not trading. I am not going to trade a gold line trade at this time of day. So I need it to roll down to my prior day open. I really do. It's fighting off that 9 EMA gold line. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, it's too late in the day for me to take that trade. I mean, that's just too much. Again, I'm not looking for quantity of trades. I'm looking for quality. And my quality is going to be if we come here. So let me put it in perspective. Could this rotate up and go like maybe to here? Yeah, it might. But I'm looking from here. So my entry, say, maybe right in here to here. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And in the NQ, I can't even do that math. Let's see here. That's 10, 20, 30. That's 40 ticks. That's 40 points. So 40, 5, 5. Is that right? 40. 4 ticks, 5 times. That's, man, I'm brain dead. 40. Did I do 40? Yeah, 40. 4 ticks. $5 tick. It's got to be more than that. Am I right? Somebody do the math for me there. I'm brain dead. Oh, it's $800. Yeah, that's $800. Whereas this, because of the time of day, I don't have the trust in it that it's going to rotate up. But there it is. It's going. Oh, man. I hear you from Brazil. I hear you. I hear you. It's a world problem. It's a world problem because governments figure out that instead of dealing with issues, they can just print money. And it temporarily solves the problem. Keyword there is temporarily. There was I think it was a Greek philosopher. I need to find the quote, but basically he said that, you know, democracies ultimately kill themselves because they vote for people that promise things that, you know, that aren't real, that can't happen. And the only way it can happen is to just destroy the value of the currency, which destroys the value of the economy. I really want that NQ to get more. See, I would be sweating my head off right now if I was in that NQ long off that gold line. I would be sweating. You know, it'd be interesting is if we could get that red line to come right up here at the same time that this comes down. It's not a red line trade, but the red line would be a support mechanism. We have not touched it yet. We reached towards it here. We have not touched it yet since we've crossed it. at 9 o'clock this morning. We have not even touched that red line. Come on, NQ, just do this so I can take a trade here. Come on, NQ. By the way, gold went. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, its whole premise was to do exactly that. How do you know? Its whole premise was to go there, and then that's it. Then it's done. It's like, okay, that's where all the money that brought this big green candle here, that's where they exited, and they just slammed it down. It's funny when you know those things like an hour before they happen. And you start getting, again, I talk about, one of the things is you pick a couple of these instruments and you learn the personality, and you just know the personality of that instrument. It makes it a lot easier to figure out your targets. It makes it a lot easier to figure out when that instrument's breaking down, when it's not breaking down. Because the personalities, I know that's hard to totally grasp, but the personalities, for example, of the NQ is different than the personality of the RTY. Its personalities are different. God, are we going to sit on top of that 9 EMA? See, we're just sitting on that 9 EMA right now in the NQ. God dang it. I need it to start moving. Again, rotations. It's just rotation. This is the one I couldn't get my chat to work. Look at that. That's all your money right there. Down towards the low. Boom, there you are. Get yourself out here, take your $500-$600 and call it a day. That's it. That setup right there was absolutely freaking gorgeous in the YM. Absolutely gorgeous. It's exactly the exact same setup I took in gold last week. That was my big trade of the week. I nailed it for like $700-$800 in gold last week. That exact setup right there. Literally exact. Man, Jesus. I'm sorry. I just didn't realize. I didn't realize this thing would ultimately rotate up here. I didn't. Well, I mean, this is about what I said. If it does rotate up, it's going to go here. But still, I wanted it to come here. Now, this is starting to come here. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll pinch through this pivot here, tick or two, and then run straight down here. We can, because that's the kind of games that this instrument will play. Pick that through, run down here, cleaning out all the stops of the longs, and then rotate from here back up. That's the kind of stuff that the NQ is notorious for, finding rotations, breaking through it, peeling itself back and seeking a support down, way down below after they cleaned out all the stops, and then rotating, and then wham. And that's when you've jumped on the back of that shark right there. Shit, look at that. They just might do it from here. They brought it up to the high. Come on. God, look at gold. You dirty dog. You just dirty dog. Literally, look at gold. Does everybody see? Everybody see the manipulation? Went through there. Now it's coming all the way back down to here. I mean, this move from here back to this red line. This move from here back to that red line is $1,000. One contract, $1,000, $1,000, and there it is. Boom. $1,000. Now, there's no way I'm going to sell at the high like that for that rotation. But that move down was $1,000. $1,000. That's what I'm talking about with gold. Is the rotations are so profitable because there's so much room that the rotations just are huge profits in gold right now. It takes an act of Congress to get $1,000 rotation in oil right now. You're certainly not going to get one in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. You're not going to get one in 10 minutes like you did here in gold. You got $1,000 rotation in 10 minutes. You're not going to get that in oil. When they do the oil inventory report, maybe the moment they issue the report, maybe. But not a rotation. God, NQ, you just frustrate me. You really are frustrating me right now. You are really frustrating me right now. You should have rotated over. You really should have. All I can attribute the fact that we did not rotate over in the NQ for the retest is just the mere fact that I don't know that we have. I just don't know that we have the gumption in the market right now because they are releasing the FOMC minutes today. There's just I don't know that we have the energy in the market. I don't know that the sharks are in the tank. Got to have the sharks in the tank. Now, we did break through this pivot right here, so this would be wondermous if we would run right down here now. That would be just like, that would be just absolutely beautiful if we can run straight down right now in the NQ. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Come on, NQ. Give us this trade that I've been talking about for 20 minutes. Give us this trade that I've been talking about for 20 minutes. See you tomorrow, Bruce. Just remember, everybody, I'm not even going to be here Friday. I'm going to be in South Bend, Indiana, sitting in a bar, singing Irish music, drinking Guinness, and running up probably about last time I sat in this bar, I ran up a $320 tab before a football game. That was last year. So I'm probably going to do a $400 one this year. That's my guess. Probably going to have a $400 tab. But I'm okay having a $400 tab when I printed $700 and some today. But yes, I'll probably run up a $400 tab tomorrow night. Yeah, well, I've got a few people hanging on to that tab, Jeff. I'm dragging two of my adult kids with me, and what they tend to do is they start ordering shots and shit, and then it gets, then everything goes downhill from there. Because Guinness, I tell people drinking a Guinness is like eating a loaf of bread. I mean, that stuff is like, woof. You know what I mean? That stuff is like, that stuff is heavy. But the Irish music flowing, they got a live band in this place that I go to. Live Irish band, big band. I'm talking probably about 8 musicians. Yeah, you can black and tan it to cut it. Yeah, I'll do that in the morning. I don't do that at night. Morning. I'm meaning like if I'm starting to drink at noon. If I'm starting to drink at noon, I'll black and tan it. But look at that 9 EMA right there on the 5-minute. Shit, come on, man. Look at that. That is not what I wanted. I want you to slam down. I am buying for others, Commish. I am buying for others. Yes. Yes. I am buying for others. Oh my God, NQ, you're starting to frustrate the hell out of me. See, they're just not manipulating it. When the NQ's on fire and the sharks are in the tank, they have absolutely no problem ticking through that and running straight down to here and then running straight back up. I mean, it's because the sharks are in the tank. They know the people are long through here, and they just sling them right out right here, and then fing back the other way. When all the people going, oh God, we got to go short. We're going down. And then fing, off they go the other way. Did I lose? Oh yeah, I got my strategy on. I was like, where are my markers? That's the one I took right here. That's the trade I took this morning right here, back up to there. They gave me all my money. Oh, shoot. I have not been to Ireland. We have people in this chat though that are from Ireland. We do. We have I know a young lady that's from Ireland that's in this chat. Yeah, I have several people from Ireland that follow these videos, but I have never been to Ireland. It's very different there. Now I only like it. I'll only order it when they'll draft it out of the with the slow spigot, but they got to kind of tip it. Yeah, there you go. We got some Irish people in here. So I've got several Irish people in this that follow these chats and these videos. I always like to get messages from them. My lineage is Carney, Kearney. That's my grandparents. They were Carneys with a K. So the story I get is, back in Ireland, they were from South West Ireland, and basically the Carneys were horse thieves. That's the story that's not the story they tell me. That's the story I quasi researched. My grandparents didn't tell me that. You just, man, I'm telling you, the NQ is pissing me off. Look at that. It did melt its way. It's going to melt its way all the way up to the top. That is ridiculous. That's so frustrating. Well, I got it now, Christine. So on gold, you had to create. So let's just talk about that. Hold on here. It's a good question. Sorry, I missed the question. Talking about Ireland. You got to create. Now what you've done is you've got to create space. So we've got space, and we just need this to rotate back, sit on top of here, consolidate, and then boom, there's your long. Back in the direction of the market, off your red line. So you got to create that space, which we did. And then we got to have them come back and test it. Freaking NQ just pisses me off, man. Just pisses me off. Just pisses me off. Unbelievable. I didn't call this trade out here. I mean, it's not like it's certainly not one of the kind of trades I take if you think about it. Yes, it went here, but I mean, look at the travels. I don't have the stress. I don't have the energy for that, especially in the NQ. Especially in the NQ. Maybe in the MNQ, but not in the NQ. There's no way I could have stomached, that. I needed a bigger rotation point, either this line or this line, to then take it. Frustrating. And it looks like gold's about to do the same damn thing. Just sit on top of the 9 EMA and rotate its way up. Are you serious? I didn't take that trade, Rick, but god dang, that is a beautiful one, isn't it? It is a beautiful one. I mean, it frustrated it. You created a Donchian channel, you came back and you sat on it. It ran up, but it came back down, it tested that bottom again without going through it. So if you use this candle as your stop, then wham, there you are. You know, this when they do that dirty dog stuff right there, man. It's like, oh my God. But no, I did not take that trade. It was getting kind of noisy to my left. I mean, this is kind of noisy. But I mean, they gave you the hand. Good observation, by the way, Rick. They gave you the hand when they broke that pivot and then rotated down. They gave you the hand. They gave you the sign, you know, the little hand signal. Hey, we're going long, but we're going to come back here and clean out everybody's ass in the process. They gave you the sign. I agree. I'm looking for those signs over here in NQ, and it's just not happening. I'm just under the impression that the manipulators are not manipulating the NQ today because the signs were there. Like, for example, when we broke this pivot right here, they should have gone to here. If the manipulators are in there, they should have run it down to here or minimum the red line and then back up. They shouldn't have just meandered. That's just, but the YM did. The YM did the sign and then did the rotation. Yeah, you know, and that happens all the time. Whereas I'm focused on, you know, say the NQ and then the YM does something right, or I'm focused on the RTY and gold does something right. I mean, it's just, you know, I prefer kind of doing this though because, you know, there are days, for example, that you can open up even gold and it does literally nothing. So at least if I'm looking at other things, I can see if something else doing something. Then, of course, I do like to see what the ES is doing because it drags the rest of the market. It has a tendency to drag the market, its direction. So if the ES is up, then I'm biased that we should be looking at longs, for example, in the rest of the market. Now, what would be nice possibly right here with the YM is if it would slam itself right down to that prior day open again after going through the current high. Just slam right down there and then rotate and then take a long. It's too late in the day for that, Rick. The pattern is correct, but it's too late in the day. There's double things about that pattern that's nice too, because here's your resistance area to the long side, and we came back and tested it. You know what I mean? So there's double reason that the long here would work. I'm just not going to do it because to me it's too late in the day for a 1 minute gold line. But you know, a lot of times, you know, again, see this is your zone right here that got broken. So a lot of times they'll run up and come back and test the top of that zone. Because again, we don't know what made this unless you got a line on your chart that I don't know about. We don't know what made that resistance in the first place. This. So it's not unusual that when they roll it back, they come back to that spot. But this would be a great spot, Rick, for this thing to rotate down to the red line. Absolutely gorgeous. And here's why. See this pivot right here? By the time we get here, this pivot we should be able to do all our dancing on that red line before we even break this pivot that rotated up. So from here to here would be our, you know, what we'd be looking for. No problem, Rick. It's again, this is my perception. It doesn't mean I'm going to be right. It's just, you know, I don't want to take gold lines as the day goes on because they have a tendency to do just like that one did right there. They have a tendency to go up and then Peter, because there's no follow through. No problem, Rick. I mean, honestly, I benefit from this. And your grandma was Irish, Ryan? Yeah. I benefit from this also, Rick, really. I mean, I do, in the sense that it keeps me grounded. I don't do stupid stuff when I'm trading. And then I come back here and I report to you guys, like I did this morning, hey, here's where I'm at, this is what I've done. And I mean, I've got a, probably what's today? Is today Wednesday? So probably tomorrow I'll send in a request to liquidate some money out of that account again, because I like to keep, once I get to about $7,000 or so, I like to pull out about $5,000, just so I don't go ridiculous. Now the weird part is, like for today, if I was down at $2-3,000, here's an interesting story. If I was down at $2-3,000 and I made that screw up that I made in the NQ, where I entered off my trade saver in the MNQ, it never would have taken the trades, because I didn't have enough capital in my account. So I never would have made that mistake. I never would have been able to make that mistake. I would have tried and then been like, why didn't it fill? But because my account was sitting up over $6,000 at the time, it fired off the 4 contracts. Just fired off the 4 contracts. And I'm like, didn't even realize it till I had done it the second time. Oh my God. Come on, NQ. I need you to really actually pick up some pace here to the downside. $25, $197. Okay. Oh, good, Eve. That's nice. I had a Bolonex account once or twice. They can't. Let me see here. I'm gonna screw this story up, but I think I'm going to screw the story up, Eve. But I'm going to kind of highlight the story. They contacted me because I had this YouTube channel and said that they would give me, a free eval account or something like that. They were going to give me a free account. I can't remember the story. I don't remember the story. God dang it. I wish I did remember it. But they offered me like a free account or 2 or 3 or 4. I can't remember, if I would, to try out. And then if I liked their service or whatever, to present them to you guys as an option to Apex. So I turned around and got the account. And for the life of me, I can't remember what the deal was, but I told them, I know what it was. I told them I trade. They asked me what I traded, with Apex. And at the time I was trading 3 accounts. So I said, well, I trade 3 accounts at Apex. And they said, okay, well, we'll give you the free accounts. We'll give you free accounts and we'll let you go. we'll let you try it. You can just duplicate with us what you're doing with Apex. So I said, okay. So I went in and got the first account. They gave me some kind of coupon or something. The account was free. Then I went in to get the second one, and they charged me. And I'm like, charge me? What are you charging me for? You told me you were going to let me do the same thing. So I got a bad taste in my mouth right out of the gate. And so I contacted them. I said, wait, you guys said that you were going to let me do what I did at Apex, and you were going to give me a free account. They're like, yeah, we gave you a free account. I said, no, I know, but I trade 3 accounts. Oh, we're only going to give you 1 account. So they were going to save, like you said, $22. They were going to save $22 by making me pay. So I just kept the 1 account. I didn't buy the other one, and I just intentionally blew it up. Yeah. Well, it's because you got that 100K account, Eve. You know, the higher the account, the more they're going to make you make. I don't remember what Apex is at 100K. Because I never got a 100K account with Apex. I used to only trade 25K accounts. And by the way, damn it, Christine, did you get that? God dang, Christine, did you get that? Hold on a second. Christine, are you in here? Did you get that gold line trade that I told you to take? Did you get that? I mean, that red line, that gold trade? God dang it. I started talking and I wasn't paying attention. This is the trade I told her. I said, wait for it to pierce and then boom, back to the high. Christine, I hope you got that. Jeff, I went over it with Christine already. Look at that. It did exactly what I said. Crossed over. And then it did it deliberate too. See, it broke that pivot there, which made it even better. And then ding, 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 pierced it, boom, gone. There you go. That's your trade. Oh, Christine, come on, honey. I showed you the promised land. I showed you the promised land. I actually told you exactly what to do. That's all right. Yeah, I told you exactly what it was going to do. That's okay. What's more important is to just, I say this, rinse, wash, repeat. What's more important is to recognize what that pattern is. So that later on this week, when it does the same damn thing again, because it will, you can take that trade. Now, this thing should, because of time of day, it should meander all the way back up into this area, at least. So your entry would have been 65, 70. I mean, shoot, man, you're almost at $500 right now. Oh, Christine, I was talking about freaking, I was just talking. I mean, I'm done. So I'm not concerned. I'm done trading. But that was the setup right there. And I called it. I told you right here, wait for it to rotate over, sit on that red line, and then bam, long, because that's what you want. And this was proof right here. 1, 2, 3. I mean, they're pushing it long. They went through here, cleaned out some stops, rotated it over, sat on that red line, and bam, gone again. That's that pattern right there. That pattern right there. Make you a lot of money, my friends. That pattern right there. Make you a lot of money. Damn it. Sorry. I was too busy talking. Anyways, it's no big deal. I mean, it's no big deal. Just burn that in your brain, Christine. Oh my God, you only needed $253 too? That was it right there. Back to the pivot was more than $200. Back to that pivot, that rotation pivot right here. From here to here, that was more than $250. God dang. Christine, just send me your login. I'll get you the $250. I'm just joking. But I gave it to you right there. Oh my God. And again, I keep talking about gold because the rotations are so big, the money is there. And the manipulation and the volume is there. Because gold has so much activity in it right now. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't going to trade anymore anyways, but I did call that trade out for Christine. Because she asked. She specifically asked, you go back up in the chat, she asked me, is there a red line trade in gold? And I pulled the chart over and I said, if it does this and this, take it long. And you know, and it's like, how do you know that it's the right trade? How do you know it's the right trade? Look at the size of that entry candle. That's how you know. That's how you know you loaded up with the boomerang. Anyways. Yeah, that would have been your $250. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, it's okay. Yeah, that red line is a beast. Specifically in gold. That red line is a beast in gold. It really is. You can see it all. You can see it clear as the nose on your face. If you didn't even have any other line on this chart, you ran through it. You should always be leaning long in gold right now. The market's up. It's been up. And so, whoom, bam, there you go. 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 Rotation up, blasted right through it, which I said we were going to go to here. I said that when we were here. I said they're going to go here, and then they're probably going to run it down. I didn't know if they would or not, but they did. And then crossover, I say, Christine, when they pierce this, boom, gone. And why are they doing it? Because it's that freaking red line. The red line in gold is just fire, man. It's fire. I mean, look at this. Hammer candle, up. Big candle, up. Tick to the tick, up. To the tick, up. To the tick, up. I didn't make these. I didn't make that line up. That's what they're trading. David, I did. I did earlier this morning, I think. I know. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did. They were W patterns, 2 W patterns, one in gold. I went over it, and one in NQ. I went over it. Yes, I did, David. So it's in the earlier half of this video. I went over those trades. Oh, they were beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous trades. Holy shit. God dang. Just gorgeous trades in the NQ and in gold yesterday. Man, I wish I had taken that red line myself in gold. I could have used. I mean, that could have paid my bar tab that I know I'm going to have Friday night. That was the point I was making, Carolina, is that you can get fixated on one instrument. And I've got a buddy of mine, for example, who's a trader, and he only trades the RTY. That's all he trades. And sometimes it's just dormant; it doesn't do anything. And gold can be dormant sometimes too. So I kind of like to look at all of them and see if somebody's actually doing something, and then that's who I focus on, or try to focus on. Red line. It is possible because you're coming from a higher pivot. You notice how we broke the pivot to the left on gold? It's like going back to the well. It's like going back to the well. The more times you go back to the well, the less likely the well's going to give you water. So, this by far was the most important rotation right here, this first one. But what's important to me to potentially be another rotation is that we broke this pivot here before we came back. So if we sit on that gold line, that red line, Jesus, then yes, there's a good likelihood it'll go back up again. But here's the problem. But let me give you the rest of the story. Again, the more times you go to the well, the less likely it's going to work. If I'm making any sense. Because one of the things that's going to happen is most likely, look at gold go. What the hell? See, one of these freaking town clowns must have said something in these meetings because gold just shot right up. But let's just pretend that it was going down to that red line. One of the things you got to understand in a normal day, now today is going to be, they're going to release the FOMC minutes at 2:00. So the market's going to be stupid and stuff like that. But as the day goes on, what has a tendency to happen is price will start hitting on that red line, and the intent is to rotate inside of it and then soften itself out throughout the rest of the day. Very rarely does the market close at the high. You know what I mean? And so you just got to be aware of that it's going to rotate. It's going to ultimately, and we're getting, we're at 1150 here. So it's going to start rotating itself most likely to the short side here soon enough. Because very rarely does the market open at a high, and very rarely does the market close at a low. It usually like maturates itself back towards something in the middle. Thank you, Christine. You would have made me happier if you would have taken that trade. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you'd have made me happier if you would have taken that trade, though. Because then you would have passed. And you could have sent me a note saying, hey, I passed. I got 2 notes at the end of last week of people passing. Some guy even sent me his trade, his actual trades to show me, what he took and how he passed. It was beautiful. He got 65 ticks in the ES on a W pattern that got him to pass his eval. And he said it was the first eval he's ever passed. And it was he took an ESW, a W pattern trade to the long side, right off of a support line. And it was beautiful. He sent me a screenshot of it and everything. Ah, man. Look at that. So see what they did over here in the NQ? They did come and sit on that. Say I told you that this is the support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. Well, that's they sat right on that line right there and then rolled it back up. Jesus. The line that I extended. Just crazy. It's not a tradable event for me. But, that's the reason it's rotated up. It's not a tradable event for me. Again, I'm not here to take every thing that I'm seeing. I'm here to take specific things that I'm seeing. Like that trade in gold that I told Christine about, that's a highly tradable event to me. Highly tradable event to me. If I was paying attention, I would have been pushing the buttons on that one. Yeah, that is true. It's about the free trading, the free trading, the free teaching. Well, at the end of the day, here's the thing: is it's not easy to even teach people, because I can sit here and teach people, but some people, again, I'm not, some people have to. Jim Racine is an example. Now, Jim is a superstar in this strategy. Jim, I'm sure he's not in here anymore, but Jim, because he makes his money and then he goes. But Jim came to me a year and a half ago or so, like, listen, man, I got to figure this out. He was in the mortgage business. I used to be in the mortgage business. He was telling me, how rough things are. He says, I've got to figure this out and I've got to make money. And he was like, kind of hyper about it. And I was like, listen, man, just watch these videos, do what I'm saying, da 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 da. So he took it to the next level, because he stayed in contact with me for a year and a half. He's still in contact with me today. But it was about 6+. It was when I went live with money, he did the same thing. He's like, yeah, I'm done with these prop firms. They're just pissing me off, whatnot. And he went live with money too. And then he divulged to me in one of these contacts that his objective is to make $20,000, pull $20,000 a month out of the market, out of his account into his personal checking account, to cover the fact that his business was not working. And I told him, I said, that's funny you say that, because that's exactly why I keep my talents fresh, is in case my housing business completely collapses. Well, 6 months later, plus, we're over 6 months now. He's been taking 20 grand out, if not more, every month, doing exactly the things I'm talking about. He posted it earlier. He made $2,200 today. He had a day last week where he made $6,600. $6,600 he made last week in one day. In one day. He trades predominantly gold and the NQ. That is wild. And there's a couple other people that have been following me that are making money, making like real money. And then I've got a couple retirees that follow me, and they do exactly what my premise was when I started this channel. They subsidize their income, $500 to $1,000 a week, that kind of stuff. And they're happy as can be. They do that. They make their money, and then they go about their life playing golf or whatever it is they want to do, because they're retired. And but here's the problem of, if there's 300 people that sit down to learn this stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, the problem is maybe 10 will actually follow through to learning it. So, like, why would I charge 300 people to learn this when only 10 are going to benefit? Because it just doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Mentally, I don't want to charge to teach you this when 290 out of 300 aren't going to learn it because they're not going to pay attention. Does that make sense what I just said? How much I started with? You talking about my because I do that, Carolina. I mean, I like when I've gone to live money. I used to do it with my prop firm stuff. Everybody in here that's been following me has watched me blow up 20 prop firm accounts. Happened to me on a Friday afternoon when I left to go to Home Depot or Lowe's. I had 20 accounts. I don't remember if they were PAs or evals at the time. I don't remember now. But what I do remember is I had a random order sitting on my chart that I didn't know was there. And I go to Home Depot on a Friday afternoon and I come back and I just go to look at the charts because I like to look at charts. And I'm looking at my P&L is just bright red. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, I had a random order sitting on my chart that I didn't know about that had entered all 20 accounts and blew up my accounts. Oh, except my main account. That's right. Because what had happened is the order was on there and then I had disconnected my accounts and didn't realize the orders were sitting on my other 19. And then I was going to trade just that one account. Something like that's what it was. So on 19 accounts, I had a blind order. And that blind order doesn't have targets or stops because the lead account throws the targets and stops on. And I blew up 19 accounts. I did all live, right? I mean, I divulged it. I mean, I've made the biggest fuck ups you can in trading. Blow up 19. Well, I think they were PAs, 19 of them in one day. I kind of lost my palate for copy trading when I did that. That is true, Eve. You know what? Here's the other thing about women, Eve. Women are also more patient than men. And so, like the things I talk about here, I just think women, what I'm talking about, what I'm trying to teach people, and just a few simple patterns, nothing drastic. Okay. But I just think women would be better at it than men because that's why women make better accountants. My background is I was a CPA when I got out of school. I worked for Deloitte. And, at the end of the day, I was good at, selling Deloitte and I was better at finding ways for my clients to save money by doing this, and this, but getting down and dirty into the details of doing their books and shit. I had to hand that over to the women because not being sexist, but they were much better at it than me. Women are just better at details than men. Oh, from Deloitte, Eve. Oh yeah, you burn out. Oh yeah, they'll burn you out, man. It's a churn and burn place. Ernst & Young, yeah, same thing. Yeah, I worked for Deloitte. I'm an old school. I originally got hired by Deloitte Haskins and Sells. And then 6 months after I was there, we became Deloitte and Touche. I think now they just call themselves Deloitte. But anyways, I worked in Boston and in North Carolina for Deloitte. Great place to work, learn a lot of stuff. But, you know, they will burn you out, man. Like you got to live, breathe, and die that stuff. Yeah, Ernst and Winnie. Yeah, I think Ernst wouldn't hire me. I had offers from Price Waterhouse, Deloitte, and Arthur Andersen. And you worked at KPMG. It's funny that we got a bunch of accountants in here. It's funny. Trading's a good thing for accountants, man. Yeah. I really want the NQ to do a nice strong pullback, Floki. I really do. I want it to run to that red line. I don't think it's tested that red line yet. No, it has not tested that red line since it's crossed. Yeah. Yeah, KPMG, Price Waterhouse. Well, yeah, they became Price Waterhouse Coopers. When I was interviewing with them, they were just Price Waterhouse. They offered me a job. Arthur Andersen offered me a job, and Deloitte offered me a job. Yeah. It is a great background to be a CPA. It is. It is. It was. The things I experienced working at Deloitte, I mean, man, just some amazing businesses I got to be involved in. Amazing businesses. And to be around some really brilliant people. Because I worked in the small business group of Deloitte. So, you know, I had clients I didn't get stuck at that freaking one client, you know, like General Motors, and you're just stuck there. I didn't get that stuff. I was rotating around from, you know, dealing with small business owners type stuff. That was my passion to do that. And so I really enjoyed it, other than the job, you know, took your life over. You were in public accounting for 10 years? Holy shit. Holy shit. You're a better man than me, Wayne. Holy cow. I made it just under 5 years, I think. I just couldn't do it. That's when I went back to Notre Dame. I left public accounting and went back to Notre Dame. I told myself there's got to be more. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. There's got to be more to life. And the funny part was, when I went to Notre Dame for graduate school, because my roughly 5 years experience at Deloitte, I was short of 5 years by, like, I don't know, maybe 4 months, 4 months, whatever it was by the time I got into school. Anyways, my experience at Deloitte, I was hands down more prepared for graduate school than anybody else in my program. Because, you know, from working in public accounting, man, you work like a dog, and you had your hands in way too many things for your age in terms of, you know, what you were responsible for and whatnot. So when I got to graduate school, like, nothing scared me. Like, I was not afraid of nothing. Yep. Good for you, Wayne. Good for you. God dang. Yeah. You're a better man than me, my friend. You're a better man than me. Wow. You're a much better man than me. All right. Well, I'm going to shut this off so I can call back some customers and that I got to deal with about their houses. And I'll be back here tomorrow. And then hopefully tomorrow won't have that 2 p.m. FOMC garbage. So hopefully we can get some more setups. If I didn't have that chat issue, man, I would have been all over that YM short this morning. Jesus, beautiful setup. All right, everybody have a good day. I'm going to let you go. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I close out at $691 for the day. Talk to you later.